Welcome to this tutorial in which we describe how to install the Mecodify Docker version. So let us begin. First, obviously, we need to go to the Docker Mecodify version as well. So we go ahead and search for Docker Mecodify. That's the first link you find. And so this is the link. First, we go through the installation steps. And so the first thing that would pop up is the requirement for the Twitter API bearer token. Obviously, this is a requirement because you cannot dynamically and programmatically acquire data from Twitter using any other method. So we use the API. And in my case, I already have acquired an API. There's a set of instructions on how to do it. My API is based on the academic track, academic research. And I've made sure I save it here in the desktop. It's in a file, so it's a text file, basically a string. This is the bearer token. I'll copy it and paste it when the moment comes. Right, so going back to the steps. So now that I have this, I move forward. Basically, this token is supposed to be private, so make sure you keep it private. I'm just sharing it here because it's a dummy code, it's not an actual code. So going forward, we need to install Docker if you don't have it yet. So I open this in a new tab, and it's the location where you can download Docker. Docker is the containerization application, so that you have everything in one place instead of trying to install various things. So in my case, my machine is an Apple chip, but yours can be either a non-Apple chip, maybe an Intel chip, or some other device. Make sure you download it, whether it's for Windows or Unix. So I'll go ahead and download this. I'll save it to the desktop, and it shouldn't take long to download. Once it's downloaded, you need to extract it and place it in the applications folder, as you do with any other application. So I can see here that it's downloaded. So I run it, and it asks me to drag it and drop it to the application. So I already have it, but I'll replace it anyway, just a means of perhaps updating. So now that I have Docker installed, the next thing is that I need to make sure that it runs. And your Docker version would also be necessary to run before you move on to the next stage. So let's move on and run it. And so we open the applications. There it is. So we go ahead and run Docker for the first time. So it would say here, do you want to open it? You say yes, because it's from the original source. Now it's running. Sometimes it requires you to give the password, the admin password, which you would obviously give in order for it to run. So now I close this, and you see now it's running, and it opened its interface. I will not actually need this interface for now. I'll just minimize this, and then I will also close this. You can obviously, if you see it in the desktop, you can also remove them because this is temporary. So you remove the installation file. Good, so now we'll move to the next step. You can close this as well. Now we have Docker running and installed. So then the next step is to basically download the Mecodify Docker repo. And so basically this is the repo that you need to download. See here, it says this repo. So you click on that, and it actually asks you to download. So you download it. You may download it to a folder. In my case, I just download it to the desktop. So if you go here, you notice that it's a compressed file. You double click, and now it's available in its own folder, as you can see. It's called Mecodify Docker and master. So this is where the folder is. Next, I'll check to see what the next step is. Installation. So installation says we assume to have Docker installed, and it's installed and ready. As you can see, it's running. And then it says run terminal. Terminal is a program that allows you to use the command prompt. So I would go and ensure that I have terminal. I go to the applications and write terminal, and there it is. I double click it, and it's running. And so it says run terminal and change to the directory where you downloaded the uncompressed Mecodify Docker files. It should contain the file named Docker file. All right, so let's see. This is the folder. And if I click it, it has the file called Docker file. But I need this to be changed in the terminal. So in order to do this, the easiest way is to simply write cd space, and then you take this folder and drag it all the way here. This is done in a Mac, on a Mac computer. You might want to try another method if you're using Windows. The idea here is that you simply say cd and then space, and then you change to the folder where you have the actual folder. So that's where you are now, and so I am in the correct folder. I go back to the instruction. It says once in the folder, run the following command. So I run this command. I copy this and then come here and paste it, and then I click and write enter. So the first question that it will ask is, it appears that you have not yet added the Twitter bearer token. So this is exactly what I was referring to when I said I needed the bearer token to be available for me. So it asks me, do you have a Twitter API Premier account based on academic license? I say yes, because that's the thing that I applied for and I got. And now it says, please copy the full bearer token. So I go back to the folder where the file where I have the token, and this is the token. So I copy it, select it all and copy it. Then I get back to the terminal, and then here I simply paste it. Then I write enter. So now what it will do is that it will begin to create the full system and through which Mecodify will be running. This will take a while depending on the speed of your computer. It might take a few minutes, it might take longer. But what I'll do now is that I'll pause the recording until this is fully ready and then get back with. So we're back after we did a pause while it's installing. And it says here that installation running the server, installation complete. Open this location 127.0.0.1 with your browser to access Mecodify. So I can simply copy this particular address here, copy, and then go to the browser, and then simply open this there. And then voila, there it is. You have a running Mecodify platform on your own computer. You can sign up, create an account case, and do all the other work that you know of. As you know, Mecodify has its own documentation and explaining what to do and how to do it. There's a Mecodify documentation here describing every single aspect of how to use Mecodify. So make sure you study this carefully and use it to the best of your abilities. Note that this is basically an installation tutorial. It's not a documentation itself, but you feel free to use the various resources on this website to get to see how to use the various functions of Mecodify. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very pleasant day.